Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really unusual journal from over 100 years ago. And trust me, it's this wild mix of a spiritual diary, a political manifesto, and, well, a high-end fashion catalog. It's a fascinating look into a hidden world. Okay, let's get into it. Right, so when you think of old magical societies, you're probably picturing shadowy figures in hoods, right? Dusty old books? Well, forget that for a second. The reality, at least according to this journal, the Equinox, was surprisingly organized. We're talking serious study, a strict hierarchy, and even, believe it or not, mail-order shopping.
Okay, check this out. This is a real advertisement from inside the journal. This wasn't just some abstract philosophical club. You had actual ranks, from a probationer all the way up to a magister templi. And you had to have the right outfit for the job. And look at those prices. £50 for that top-tier robe. That was an absolute fortune back then. It just shows you this surprisingly professional, almost business-like approach to the whole mystical quest.
So you have this very structured, magical world, but it was all about to get blown apart by a really bitter feud. And at the center of it all was one of its most famous and controversial members. In these pages, he's just known as Frater P, which stood for Perdurabo. This is from the journal's own editorial page. It basically reads like a declaration of war. Frater P is openly mocking his old boss, a guy named Mathers, who he calls the Imperator. He's accusing him of making empty threats and basically running away from a fight. I mean, it is personal, it's very public, and it is messy.
And here's why this was such a huge deal. This wasn't just two guys arguing. The entire system's authority was based on who was in contact with these mysterious, unseen beings they called the secret chiefs. Frater P's claim was explosive. He said Mathers had lost that divine connection and that he, Frater P, was now in contact with the real chiefs. And get this, he said they'd ordered him to publish all the order's secrets to stop the frauds. This single act of rebellion really became the launchpad for his entire life's work.
So, after basically burning all his bridges with the magical world of the West, Frater P doesn't just, start a rival club. Instead, he does a complete 180. He turns his attention to the East, convinced that the real answers he's looking for are in a totally different spiritual system. You can see he saw this break as a total liberation. He started traveling, and he threw himself into the intense mental and physical disciplines of yoga. Think about that shift. He was no longer trying to command spirits or perform these super elaborate rituals. Now, he was just trying to command himself. So the whole game changes. The quest isn't about external power anymore. It's all about internal control. The new mission, the new holy grail, was to get absolute, unwavering mastery over the one tool that he believed truly mattered, his own mind. And he went all in on this philosophy, which he even quotes in his journal, from the great Eastern teacher Swami Vivekananda. The idea is that the true path to power isn't through secret words or ancient gods. It's through relentless, single-pointed concentration. Everything else is just a distraction. And man, did he put this into practice. He actually published his own meditation logs in the journal for everyone to see. And you can feel the struggle right here on the page. Just 10 minutes focusing on a cross, and he has 3 breaks in concentration, trying to visualize the goddess Isis, a very difficult practice. And my absolute favorite note, after 38 minutes meditating on nirvana, if I was not asleep, result pretty good. It's so honest and human. It shows you just how incredibly difficult this work actually was. After months and months of this relentless, grueling effort, he records this huge breakthrough. He finally achieves a profound trance state, which he called dhyana. And in that state, he has this vision of a golden dawn. He described this inner experience as being, and this is a quote, infinitely more real than aught physical. For him, this was it. He felt like he had finally touched the very core of reality. But here's the twist. Frater P wasn't content to just become a yogi and leave his old magical life behind. No, his ultimate goal was something way, way more ambitious. He wanted to take everything he'd learned and build it into one grand, unified system. This quote from a review of one of his books that was published right here in the Equinox, it just lays out his breathtaking plan. He wanted to create a universal key, a grand unified theory of spirituality. He genuinely believed that all the world's myths, all the symbols, all the gods, they could all be organized and shown to be part of one single massive, coherent structure. So it wasn't about rejecting the West for the East. Not at all. He was trying to build a bridge between them.
He was taking concepts from Western magic, like the Qabalah and the Tarot, and he was mapping them directly onto Eastern systems, like Hinduism, Buddhism, and the idea of the chakras. In his mind, these weren't different religions. They were just different dialects of the same universal spiritual language, and he was the one writing the dictionary.
And that is the key to understanding this whole thing. The Equinox wasn't just some magazine, it was the delivery system. It was the vehicle for this new, unified science of the soul. All of it, the weird poetry, the angry editorials, the dense essays on yoga, the magical rituals, it was all part of this one gigantic project to publish a complete roadmap for spiritual enlightenment, designed for the modern age.
I mean, think about it. It's an ambition that is so huge it kind of borders on insanity. But at the same time, there's a spark of undeniable genius in it. Now, whether Frater P actually succeeded or not, well, that's a debate for another day. But what this journal captures so perfectly is that incredible, audacious moment in time when one man, cast out from the old world, set out to draw a map of the entire universe of the human soul.